customize and save. More like customize and serve! You know, with Liberty Mutual.
Welcome back. 19 nights of gathering beneath the moonlight, of sharing stories among the stones, of traveling through worlds hidden beyond ordinary sight. I'm your host, Sophia Cemetery, and this is Stories at the Cemetery. Tonight, a new journey begins, a story whispered through forgotten halls, carried through generations, and buried beneath the weight of destiny. The Forbidden Bride. Every kingdom has its legends, every dynasty has its secrets, and every crown carries a history written in both glory and sorrow. But some stories are never meant to be told, some names are never meant to be spoken, and some brides were never meant to wear the veil. Tonight we meet the one they called the Forbidden Bride. A figure surrounded by mystery, a soul bound by duty, a woman caught between fate and freedom. But this is not a story of romance alone. This is a story of power, of sacrifice, of prophecy, and of choices that ripple through generations. Because sometimes the greatest danger isn't an enemy at the gate. Sometimes the danger is becoming who destiny demands you to be. Tonight marks the beginning, the first step onto a path that will lead through love, betrayal, loss, and transformation. A path that will challenge kingdoms, a path that will awaken forces long forgotten, and a path that may change the world itself. As always, at the end of tonight's chapter, there will be a song, a reflection of the emotions, mysteries, and shadows introduced in the story. Because here at the cemetery, every chapter speaks twice, once through story and once through music. So settle among the stones. Listen to the wind and open your mind to the whispers of the past, because tonight the story of the Forbidden Bride begins. So let's begin. Hold on one second. All right. The Forbidden Bride. The Scarlet Alchemist. Long before she ruled an empire, Calypsara was feared as a Scarlet Alchemist, a woman of devastating beauty and mastery over living essences. Her experiments broke every sacred code. She distilled emotions into liquids, reshaped flesh with elixirs, and crafted powders capable of bringing dead roses back to crimson bloom. She believed life could be rewritten. The academies called her dangerous. The kingdoms called her wicked. Calypsara called herself curious, and curiosity is the foundation of forbidden power. The night the dead rose to meet her. During a ritual that required moonlit copper, serpent's breath, and graveyard petals, a sudden cold swept through her chamber. Candles sputtered out. The air tightened. The shadows began to form bodies, silent silhouettes crawling up from the darkness beneath her floor. Then a figure materialized at their center. He wore armor wrought of broken tombstone fragments. His presence was hollow and heavy, like necropolis given form. His eyes glowed with the pale fire of unburied souls. He was known only in prophecy. The corpse sorcerer of the fallen, master of rot-born magic, wielder of death that had never rested. His voice echoes like mass graves breathing. "You tamper with the essence of the living," he said. "I command the forgotten dead. Your flames awaken what belongs to me." Calypsara raised her chin, unafraid. "Then claim it," she whispered. "If you can." No mortal had ever spoken to him so boldly. No sorcerer had ever tempted him with defiance. Alchemy versus fallen sorcery. Their confrontation became a collision of worlds, her alchemy of life, his sorcery of decay. Flesh-shaping elixirs clashed against corpse-binding spells, living embers twined with ghost fire. Their energy spun together, unstable, yet magnetic. Two opposing forces drawn into a single violent harmony. Instead of destroying each other, they were transformed by the resonance. The corpse sorcerer felt something he hadn't in centuries: intrigue and hunger. Calypsara sensed something she had never known, a power equal to her own. That night, fascination replaced conflict. That fascination became desire, and desire became destiny. The Forbidden Union. Their union defied nature. Alchemy was the art of breathing new life. Fallen sorcery was a dominion over life that had ended. To bind the two was heresy in every spellbook and scripture, which is why they bound themselves willingly. Under an eclipse blackened by plague winds, he crowned her, Empress Calypsara, the Forbidden Bride. She anointed him with an elixir brewing from starlight and stolen souls, binding their essences so neither life nor death could sever them. Together they became an impossible duality, the bride of living flame and the emperor of the restless dead. Reign of the living and the fallen. Their empire rose quickly. Calypsara crafted alchemical soldiers from enchanted gold and blood metal, creatures with burning cores and minds bound to her voice. The corpse sorcerer commanded legions of the fallen, warriors resurrected not as mindless undead, but as spectral knights fueled by loyalty, rage, and vengeance. Together they forged a kingdom that straddled both realms, half made of living brilliance and evolving magic, half made of ghostlight, shadowbone, and eternal twilight. No force could oppose them. No priesthood dared curse them. No king dared whisper their names without trembling. And when the world asked how such impossible power could exist, the world was reminded life without death is chaos. Death without life is emptiness. But together, they are unstoppable. All right, now we will hear the Forbidden Throne. 1 second. There we go.
From the ashes of the fallen, from the alchemy of her flame, two shadows meet in the void, and the world will never rise the same. She came from the silver night, pouring potions in the dark, alchemy on her fingers, leaving smoke across the mark, scarlet lips, a deadly gaze, a curse behind each word. She could twist her soul to gold or drop it in the dirt. Every priest tried to bind her, every king tried to keep, but she broke every chain in her with one vow in the deep. Violet arose from the graves, in armor made of stone, tomb dust on his shoulders, cold fire in his bone. His voice shook every city, made the bravest hands go slack. He turned the fallen fields and called the dead man back. He was silenced after war, a crown made out of dread, a soul reborn in darkness, a monarch crowned and dead. Then fire met the grave and the sky split open wide. Her flame touched his shadow and the whole world lost its pride. When fire met the grave, the night became alive. The royal melted, Calypso at his side. Two worlds became one. In the night they unified. The living and the fallen. Now bow before their sight. Bow before their sight. The forbidden throne. The forbidden throne. She saw him in the ether, smoke, bones, and flame. He heard her through the silence and spoke her hidden name. Power sparked between them like thunder in the sky. Her love so dark and deadly that even angels hide. He said, your alchemy is life, my sorcery is decay. If we join as one together, they'll kneel and pray. She touched the skeletal armor, felt the pulse that wasn't there. Then she leaned in close and said, I am yours without a prayer. When fire met the grave, the night became alive. The royal melted, Calypso at his side. Two worlds became one. In the night they unified. The living and the fallen. Now bow before their sight. Bow before their sight. The forbidden throne. Now they walk the burning kingdoms with soldiers made of bone. Her elixirs turn to monsters. His dead don't move alone. She turns death into desire. He turns fear into law. Together they are prophecy, a blade against the dawn. When fire met decay, destiny was overthrown. The never-ending third, Calypso on the throne. Two worlds became one, and the gods lost all control. The living and the fallen, now kneel to break the mold. Kneel to break the mold. Forbidden
Do you hear that? The whispers, the secrets, the stories buried beneath the surface. Welcome to Tea Time at the Cemetery, where the tea is hot and the drama's unburied. You got issues with somebody? Got something to say but nowhere to say it? Bring it to the table and let your side be heard, because here we're spilling it all. No filters, no holding back. Just truth, tension, and maybe a little chaos. Join us live every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pull up a seat, pour your tea, and step into the cemetery. Let's spill some tea. Want to be a guest? Hit us up. Booking.teatime@gmail.com. Remember, be careful what you say. The cemetery is always listening. Join Sophia Cemetery and Feral Minx live. All right, whoop, whoop, and we're back. All right, chapter 2. Whoa, hold on one second. No. Okay, there, we're good now. Chapter 2, The Ritual of the Thousand Souls. The Empire of Dual Shadows. Their throne room stood at the center of two realms, one of living flame and alchemy, the other of eternal twilight and fallen spirits. Where Malithor walked, shadows obeyed. Where Kalapsara moved, reality reshaped itself. Together they reshaped kingdoms like wet clay. But power, true cosmic power, always calls for more. And both of them heard it. The whisper from the void. One night, while the moon hung red and fractured, a whisper slipped between the worlds. It came through Malithor first. A cold voice carried on the breath of forgotten corpses, then through Kalapsara, like a chemical reaction igniting inside her heart. A single phrase. Unite the thousand souls and ascend beyond life and fall. It spoke of ancient ritual older than tombs and older than flames, a ritual that could merge life and death into a single divine force. A ritual no empire had ever survived, but they were not like other rulers. The Gathering of the Thousand. Kalapsara's alchemy carved runes of living light into the earth. Malithor's fallen legions brought souls bound in iron jars. Warriors who had died with unfinished vengeance, priests who defied death, queens who whispered curses on their last breath. 1,000 souls glowing like embers in the dark. Kalapsara mixed their essence with her crimson elixir, creating a potion that pulsed like a living heart. Malithor infused it with the power of the fallen, binding it with ghost fire and wrought light. When combined, the ritual circle throbbed with unstable magic. The skies cracked, the stars bent, the world began to tremble. The trial of the living flame. Kalapsara stepped into the circle first. Her body glowed, white, gold, crimson. Her blood turned molten. Her hair became threads of fire. The souls rushed toward her, trying to merge with her, overpower her, consume her. But she did not falter. She whispered ancient alchemical laws. Life bends, life breaks, life obeys. The 1,000 souls shuddered under her command, but they did not submit, not yet. The trial of the fallen. Malithor followed, stepping into the circle of soul light. The ground died beneath every step he took. Bones rose from the soil. Ghost fire spread like frost. He extended his skeletal hand, and the souls screamed, not in pain, but in recognition. For he was their emperor. The fallen knelt to him, but the living ones resisted. The ones still clinging to memories, to love, to pain, they fought back. His armor cracked, his spectral fire flickered. He would not survive alone. The union that broke the sky. Kalapsara reached for Malithor. Their hands touched, life meeting death, fire meeting ghost light. Their magic collided, twisted, then fused into a singular vortex of red and black energy. Their voices became one. Living flame, fallen bone, bind 1,000 into our throne. A storm of souls exploded upward. The palace shook. The world went white. When the light cleared, they stood together, changed, ascended, merged in ways no mortal or immortal could comprehend. Their eyes glowed the same burning gold, their auras twisted together like serpents of fire and shadow. And behind them, a massive throne made entirely of soul stone formed. A living monument that pulsed with 1,000 voices of the ritual. Malithor spoke first. We have become more than rulers. Kalapsara finished the sentence. We have become prophecy. But in the cracks of the soulstone throne, something stirred. A voice neither of them knew. A soul that had not bent, had not joined, had not obeyed. A soul that has survived the ritual and grown stronger because of it. A soul that now watched them, waiting. All right, now we're going to hear Throne of the Fallen.
Kalapsara. The Forbidden Bride returns. Malithor walks through shadows, and the fallen rise again.
I'm the queen of the cursed, dripping venom in my veins, alchemy in my lips, and the fires in my chains. Method beside me, every ghost booze and fright. Welcome to the throne of the fallen, where we rule the
Yeah, step into my kingdom where the corpses kneel low. I'm the sorcerer eternal, watch the blood rivers flow. Kalapsara at my side, she the storm in my lungs. She the whisper in the dark when the death bell rung. Her potions burn cold, her spells heat the bones. She resurrects shadows from beneath ancient stones. She kissed me, world splits, alchemy turns red. She the queen of the forbidden, I'm the king of the
I'm the
dead.
queen of the cursed, dripping venom in my veins, alchemy in my lips, and the fires in my chains. Method beside me, every ghost bows in fright. Welcome to the throne of the fallen, where we rule the night.
Malithor. My emperor of ashes, my lover made of gloom. You found me in the ruins where the golden moons bloom. You touched me with magic, older than the grave. Call me your forbidden bride, your queen of the depraved. I craft potions with the souls of the wicked. He carves spells in the air and the universe shifts with it. Two monarchs of the dark, two gods of the unseen. Together we ignite hell in shades of violet and bleed.
Just meteors into dust. Her alchemy turns the dusk into lust. Two forces bound, cursed intertwined. The fallen are blind, and the living reset.
We're the rulers of the cursed, with the night in our veins, spreading shadows through the kingdoms, hunting destiny's chains. Malithor the sorcerer, crown of Sarah the blight, bow before the throne of the fallen.
Or vanish from sight.
The empire grows, the heavens tremble. The forbidden bride ascends. And the fallen remember.
Do you hear that? The whispers, the secrets, the stories buried beneath the surface. Welcome to Tea Time at the Cemetery, where the tea is hot and the drama's unburied. You got issues with somebody? Got something to say, but nowhere to say it? Bring it to the table and let your side be heard, because here, we're spilling it all. No filters, no holding back. Just truth, tension, and maybe a little chaos. Join us live every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pull up a seat, pour your tea, and step into the cemetery. Let's spill some tea. Want to be a guest? Hit us up. booking.teatime@gmail.com. Remember, be careful what you say. The cemetery is always listening. Join Sophia Cemetery and Feral Minx live. Boop, boop, and we're back. All right, Chapter 3. The Ascension of the Forbidden Bride. The crimson moons hung low over the shattered sky, bleeding light across the realm. For weeks, whispers had spread through the kingdoms, whispers of the Empress who could bend souls, and the Emperor who commanded the legions of the dead. But now, a new omen shook the world. The fallen were stirring again. Malator stood atop the obsidian balcony of the Citadel of Ash, his skeletal armor humming with necrotic power. Lightning of corrupted starlight cracked around him, channeling through his staff. Every tremor in the air signaled the awakening of something ancient, older than his sorcery. Calypsara approached behind him, her step soft, her aura violent. Her alchemy had evolved. Her potions now beat like hearts. Her spells pulsed like living veins. Her hands dripped with shimmering violet ichor, the essence of spirit weave, a forbidden alchemical craft lost for centuries. Malathor, she whispered, her voice a mix of seduction and prophecy. The cauldrons speak. The fallen hunger for a new throne. He turned to her, his skull ablaze with inner flame. They hunger for you, he said. Calypsara's eyes widened, not with fear, but with the thrill of destiny. The souls Malathor raised no longer bowed merely to the Emperor. They glowed when she entered the room. Creatures made of ash knelt before her. Spirits whispered her name through the walls. The universe was beginning to recognize her, but something else recognized her too. From the depths beneath the citadel, a monstrous crack tore through the stone. Chains snapped, flames erupted, a roar shook the heavens, ancient, agonized, enraged. The abyssal Leviathan of the Void Gate had awakened, drawn forth by her power. Malathor stepped forward, staff raised. No, it's not here for me, he growled. It wants you, my forbidden bride. Calypsara felt the pull, an invisible tether hooking into her very soul. The Leviathan wanted to feed on her spirit weave, or merge with it. She lifted her hands, her alchemy flared, swirling with colors unseen by mortal eyes. Then let it come, she said, her voice trembling with both fear and ecstasy. For if I survive its hunger, I will become more than an empress. Malathor's flame surged, casting long shadows across the ravaged throne room. You will become a goddess of the fallen. The Leviathan burst forth, towering, skeletal, dripping void fire, and the battle began. Spells collided with cosmic venom, alchemy fused with death sorcery. Worlds trembled at the collision of forbidden forces. As the smoke rose, a silhouette emerged. Not the Leviathan, not Malathor, a woman, glowing with godlike radiance, her body wrapped in luminous violet fire. Calypsara had survived. The Empress had ascended. Behind her, Malathor kneeled, not in submission, but in reverence. Rise, Calypsara the Eternal, he whispered. Co-ruler of the cosmos, queen of the fallen, and goddess of the forbidden. and the realm, every ghost, demon, corpse, and shadow roared her new name. All right, now we will hear the ascension of the Forbidden Bride.
Hear the screams in the cracks of the sky. Hear the falling near as the void walks by. Calypso rising in violet flame. You fear her name, but you will obey. I rose from the ashes with the God in my veins. Drank the blood of the cosmos, broke reality's chains. Melissa beside me when the heavens divide. Bow down to the forbidden bride. Bow down to the forbidden bride. I saw her glowing in the dark. Violet fire, tearing worlds apart. Spirit weave dripping from her fingertips slow. Alchemy, wicked in a demon back glow. Leviathan screaming from the gate of the void. But the empress of the fallen needs something to avoid. She faced death twice, made it back for its life. Now she stand next to me, my goddess, my wife. I rose from the ashes with the God in my veins. Drank the blood of the cosmos, broke reality's chains. Melissa beside me when the heavens divide. Bow down to the forbidden bride. Bow down to the forbidden bride. Leviathan tried to swallow my soul. Ended up choking on the flames I control. I brew potions from the dust of dying stars. Turn bone into gold, turn wounds into scars. Now I stand crowned in celestial light. A goddess forged from agony, chaos and spite. I don't rule the throne, I am the throne now. Every ghost in the realm got my mark on their brow. She ascends, and the universe burns. He commands, let the cosmos turn. Two gods bound by forbidden design. The fallen rise, the living resign. We rose from the ashes with power insane. Crushed the laws of existence, tore through the domain. When the heavens trembled, we stood unified. Kneel now before Malithor and the forbidden bride. Back in the throne.
Do you hear that? The whispers, the secrets, the stories buried beneath the surface. Welcome to Tea Time at the Cemetery, where the tea is hot and the drama's unburied. You got issues with somebody? Got something to say but nowhere to say it? Bring it to the table and let your side be heard. Because here, we're spilling it all. No filters, no holding back. Just truth, tension, and maybe a little chaos. Join us live every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pull up a seat, pour your tea, and step into the cemetery. Let's spill some tea. Want to be a guest? Hit us up, booking.teatime@gmail.com. Remember, be careful what you say. The cemetery is always listening. Join Sophia Cemetery and Feral Minx live. Whoop whoop, and we're back. Alright. Chapter 4. The Rebel Soul Awakens. The citadel trembled for 7 nights after Calypsara's ascension. Her violet flames had carved new constellations into the sky. Her divinity bent the winds, the stars, the very pulse of reality. Every spirit in the empire bowed to her. Every corpse whispered her name. Every being except one, the cracked soul stone. Malithor and Kalpsara sat upon their colossal throne of shimmering soulstone. The monument forged from 1,000 merged spirits. It pulsed beneath them, alive, loyal, and obedient. But along the base of the throne, a single fissure spread wider every day, and inside that crack, a voice, a heartbeat, a soul that had not been consumed, a soul that had grown stronger in hiding, a soul that hated them both. The Nameless One emerges. On the seventh night, as Kalpsara's ascendant flames lit the sky in spiraling halos, the crack widened, and a figure stepped out. A woman made of fractured soul light, her body shifting between forms, as if the universe couldn't decide what she truly was. Her eyes glowed white hot. Her voice came out layered, like 1,000 souls speaking together. "You stole our destiny!" Malithor rose instantly, spectral fire burning through the floor. "Impossible! All souls submitted!" The Nameless One laughed, a sound like breaking bones. "Not all. I devoured the weak as you emerged them, and I survived." Her aura surged. "I carry the strength of the unclaimed." Kalpsara's realization. Kalpsara stepped forward, her new goddess form radiating cosmic heat. "You are not a soul," she whispered. "You are a mutation, a product of the ritual, a child born from our merging." The entity tilted her head. "A child?" Her voice twisted. "No, I am your judge." And she attacked. The battle of three divinities. The citadel erupted in apocalyptic light. Malithor's ghostfire crashed against the Nameless One's soul shards. Kalpsara's alchemical storms tore through the throne like tornadoes of purple flame. But the entity adapted, shifted, evolved. Every spell that hit her only made her stronger. She fed on magic, consumed it, became it. She grew wings of soul plasma. Her screams shattered entire spires of the citadel. "You created me," she hissed. "You crowned yourselves gods, but you birthed something greater." Malithor staggered, blood of stardust dripping from his jaw. Kalpsara shielded him, her violet flames wrapping around them both. "This is my fault," she said. "My ascension corrupted the ritual." Malithor grabbed her hand, squeezing hard. "No, we face her together, as we always have." The Forbidden Union. Their powers intertwined, death, sorcery, and cosmic alchemy, merging once more. Their flames became one. Their souls aligned perfectly. Their energy spiraled into a storm that threatened to tear the world in half. The Nameless One staggered under the force of their combined divinity. For the first time, she looked afraid, but she didn't fall. Instead, she tore open a rift behind her, a black doorway swirling with screaming galaxies. "I will return," she hissed, "and when I do, I will claim your throne." She vanished into the rift. The citadel fell silent. The new threat. Kalpsara collapsed into Malithor's arms, exhausted. "She will grow stronger in the void," Kalpsara whispered. Malithor nodded grimly. "She already has the power of a god. When she returns, even we may not stop her." But Kalpsara lifted her chin, eyes burning with divine fury. "Then we will become something more, something the universe has never seen." Their shadows merged on the ground, forming a single monstrous silhouette. A storm gathered above the citadel, and at its center, a new prophecy began to form. The Forbidden Bride and the Corpse Sorcerer had conquered death. They had conquered souls. They had conquered the void. But now? They had created their greatest enemy. All right, now we will listen to Rebel Soul Awakens.
Something lived, something watched, something remembered. Cracked soul storm, hear the screams, throne of gods. She survived, Calypso crown. Malithor rage, but the soul broke chain. Rebel soul.
Built my throne from 1,000 dead. Merged every soul, thought our vows were said. But one stayed breathing in the cracks of fate, feeding on hate while she learned to wait. Now she walked like a glitch in creation's code. Every spell we cast, just lights alone. I command the corpses, I rule the grave. But this thing ain't dead, and it won't behave.
That soul storm, hear the screams. She
A daughter of ruin, I didn't know. Born from ascension, fed on the weak. Now she speaks with 1,000 mouths. When she speaks, she ain't soul, she ain't flesh. She ain't dead. She's the echo of every spell we bled. She called me goddess with venomous grin. Said you made me, now watch me end you.
You crown yourselves gods, left me in pain. I ate the forgotten, I learned your flame. I am the fracture, the judge, the scar. I'm what survives when gods go too far.
Sarah Storm. She used our souls in the cosmic form, but she fed on magic, grew wings from hate, tore a hole through reality's gate. She fled to the void with a promise made. I'll come back crowned in your decay. Now every shadow feel heavy your breath, 'cause rebellion learned how to kill God's name.
That soul storm, hear the screams. Void's getting louder. Prophecy bleeds. God's made an enemy that never kneels.
Do you hear that? The whispers, the secrets, the stories buried beneath the surface. Welcome to Tea Time at the Cemetery, where the tea is hot and the drama's unburied. You got issues with somebody? Got something to say but nowhere to say it? Bring it to the table, let your side be heard, because here, we're spilling it all. No filters, no holding back, just truth, tension, and maybe a little chaos. Join us live every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pull up a seat, pour your tea, and step into the cemetery. Let's spill some tea. Want to be a guest? Hit us up, booking.teatime@gmail.com. Remember, be careful what you say. The cemetery is always listening. Join Sophia Cemetery and Feral Minx live. Whoop whoop, and we're back. Chapter 5, The Voidborn Rebellion. The void was not empty. It was watching. Beyond the stars, Malithor once commanded. Beyond the realms, Calypsara had reshaped with violet flame. Something ancient stirred, drawn to the rift torn open by the rebel soul. The Nameless One did not drift through the void. She conquered it. The birth of the Voidborn. In the absence of time, she fed. She devoured collapsed timelines. She absorbed forgotten gods whose names no longer echoed anywhere. She learned how to unmake reality without magic. The void reshaped her. Her fractured soul hardened into obsidian light. Her wings stretched into infinity made of screaming galaxies. Her voice no longer echoed. It commanded. The void itself crowned her. She became known as the Voidborn Sovereign, breaker of thrones, ender of ascensions. And she remembered only one thing clearly: the gods who abandoned her. The First Rebellion. The skies above the citadel of ash split without warning, not with thunder, but with silence so deep it killed sound itself. Void ships emerged, grown rather than built, piloted by creatures forged from stolen souls and broken laws of existence. These were not undead. They were unruled. Cities fell without battle. Spells failed mid-cast. Priests screamed as their gods stopped answering. The fallen no longer obeyed. They chose. Malithor's realization. Malithor stood alone in the throne chamber, staring at a dead star hovering above his staff. "She's rewritten the rules," he muttered. "She doesn't need death. She doesn't need alchemy." Calypsara appeared beside him, her divine glow dimmer than before. "She learned what we never dared," she said quietly. "How to exist outside dominion." For the first time since his ascension, Malithor felt something unfamiliar. Uncertainty. The goddess bleeds. The Voidborn Sovereign arrived without warning. No portal, no ritual. She simply was. Reality bent backward around her presence. Calypsara struck first. Violet storms tearing through dimensions, but the Sovereign walked through them untouched. "You still think power means control?" the Sovereign said, her voice layered with emptiness. "I learned something better." She raised her hand, and Calypsara bled. Divine blood, luminous and impossible, fell to the floor. The universe gasped. The shattered throne. Malithor unleashed everything, corpse sorcery older than death itself. The screams of extinct empires, the authority of the fallen throne. For a moment, the Sovereign staggered. Then she smiled. "You taught me rebellion," she said. "Now watch me perfect it." She struck the throne. The soul stone shattered. 1,000 souls screamed free. The empire collapsed in an instant. The choice. As the citadel fell, the Voidborn Sovereign turned away. "I don't want your throne," she said. "I want you alive, long enough to understand." She vanished. Silence followed. Ash fell like snow. Malithor knelt among the ruins. Calypsara rose slowly, wiping divine blood from her lips. "We can't rule anymore," Malithor said. "Not like this." Calypsara's eyes burned, not with fear, but resolve. Then we evolve, she said. We stop being gods of dominion and become gods of war. Above them, the sky twisted into a symbol unseen before, a prophecy written in void light. Only those who can fall may rise again. The war for existence had begun, and this time there would be no throne left to save. All right, now we're going to hear Voidborn Rebellion.
No crown. No gods left untouched. The void remembers what you tried to bury. Voidborn rising, hit the cosmos crack. Thrones get shattered, no coming back. Gods bleed light, empires fall. Rebellion don't bow, it'll rise us and more. Rebellion. I ruled the dead, bent graves to my will. Thought death was the final, the ultimate skill. But she came from the nothing between every breath. Didn't need my magic, didn't fear my death. Void ships screaming through the night sky wide. No prayers answered, no gods to hide. My legions hesitate. Undead think twice when rebellion teaches souls how to live without chains. Voidborn rising here, cosmos crack. Thrones get shattered, no coming back. Gods bleed light, empires fall. Rebellion don't bow, and the races them all. Rebellion. I drink stars to ascend, wore flame like skin. But she walked through my storms like it's nothing within. Told me power ain't control, ain't thrones, ain't fear. Then she cut me open and made it clear. Divine blood hit the stone, universe cried. First time a goddess felt mortal inside. She ain't want my crown, she ain't want my flame. She wanted me alive to remember my shine.
Crown yourselves eternal. Left me a name. I fed on your excess. Learned how to reign. I don't rule death. I don't rule life. I rule rebellions.
After gods die. Soulstone shattered, hear 1,000 scream. Empire collapsed like a broken dream. No throne left standing, no order intact. Just war in the stars and void looking back. She vanished laughing, left prophecy burned. Only those who fall may rise again, learn. Now we ain't rulers, we ain't divine. We're weapons forged for the end of time. Voidborn rising in a cosmos crack. No God safe, no turning back. From the ashes of thrones to the blood-red skies. Rebellion lies. When empires die. Rebellion. What's wrong? No proof remains. Only the war. And the void is still hungry.
Do you hear that? The whispers, the stories, the secrets buried beneath the surface. Welcome to Tea Time at the Cemetery, where the tea is hot and the drama's unburied. You got issues with somebody? Got something to say but nowhere to say it? Bring it to the table and let your side be heard, because here, we're spilling it all. No filters, no holding back, just truth, tension, and maybe a little chaos. Join us live every Sunday at 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Pull up a seat, pour your tea, and step into the cemetery. Let's spill some tea. Want to be a guest? Hit us up, booking.teatime@gmail.com. Remember, be careful what you say. The cemetery is always listening. Join Sophia Cemetery and Feral Minx live. Whoop, whoop. And that is going to be where we stop for today. Next time, we will start off on Chapter 6, The Godslayer War. Remember, Stories at the Cemetery, Monday through Thursday. We will end the show with one final song. Hold 1 second. Let's see, we will do, if my thing loads. We're going to do, we're going to do Come Say Some. Right after this commercial. And I will see you all next time. Whoop whoop.
What makes me the custard queen is I make it with pure delight. It's just
I'm so high, no Visine. I don't reply by, please stop typing. I'm not in the mood, don't try me. Do I look pissed off, bitch? Cause I might be. Don't freak with me and my frequency. No decency. I got too many girls trying to freak my meat to be pressed over little Miss Minnie. Bitch, pay me my damn respect. Call Taylor, I'm gonna need all hands on deck. Sweat. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Come say something. Come say something.
bitch, I ain't in the mood, don't say nothing. Mike's out in this motherfucker, say something. Got dirty with the nookie in the car wash. Didn't delete, press another slay button. Freddie D, clean him up like a Kotex. Never leave a drop of blood on the Rolex. Left the bed on the floor, that's the indicator. For the suspect, it's the coronator. Some of y'all been burying them headlines. Come and say something, bitch, I done said mine. Does a bitch gon' get what they gonna get? Let them sweat, let them sweat, let them sweat.
I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Come say something. Come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Welcome to your funeral. Everybody come on down. Life is so beautiful. Now that I don't see you, I dare you to run your mouth. I dare you to run your mouth. I dare you to run your mouth. Bitch, I dare you to run your mouth. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. I'm not in the mood, come say something. Come say something, bitch, come say something. Come say something. Come say something.